All right, guys, it's Woody here at USA Made Blade, and just coming here to talk to you about the ZT0220 and give you my initial thoughts on this knife, but a little background on this. When this first started coming out and I saw pictures of it, this backspacer bothered me. I looked at it in pictures and it just seemed to catch the eye really hard in pictures. Kept thinking about how it was going to feel in my hand. Read it on forums, saw it on social media. Other people felt the same way I did. And then had a guy stop in the shop, a good friend of the shop came by, and he had one of these. And this was just a few days before we got ours in. And I learned very quickly why I don't make knives and I don't design knives. I just sell knives. Because if I'd seen this in a design and they had done a computer generated version of it, I'd have said heck no. And which would have killed a really awesome knife. The backspacer, my concern was how it was going to feel in the hand, whether or not it was going to cause hot spots, things like that. I was also really concerned about the way this knife curved. And it actually, I don't think I can show that, but you see how that just seems to conform to my palm. Fits in my hand really, really well. Squeezing it tight, I don't feel anywhere that's going to give me a hot spot. I've had this knife now for a little bit over a week. I've gotten to use it pretty hard, use it some out in the yard and doing a few things around the house. Cut up a lot of paper and boxes and things like that with it. I've had no hot spots, no problems. Feels great in the hand. So with that said, I'm just, once again, very blown away. I think I've said on a lot of the 2016 lineup from ZT, I've kind of wondered what they were thinking, and then we get the knife in, and I'm like, oops, I'm glad I didn't say that publicly. And I didn't say anything bad about this knife publicly. Never do until you see it in your own hands. So one of the reasons we do these overviews and reviews is just to, not so much a review, is just to give you guys an idea of the size of the knife. So we're going to get to doing some comparison pics in just a minute. Let me refer to my notes here, but you know, in a past video I cut my notes up. But if I remember right, the knife is, I think, 8.5 inches, just under it, overall length. 3.5-inch blade and about 6.25 ounces. Closed length is just under 5 inches. So nice package here from Zero Tolerance. The blade thickness on this, I can get in on that a little bit. Nice thick blade. But in an earlier attempt, I did this, and like I said, I've been using this and have not sharpened it. And this thing will just push cut paper all day long. So impressive knife. These are available now at usamadeblade.com. And let's get to some comparison pics for you guys. We're going to cut to a different video for that. Okay, so this is the 220 just without my hands all over it. And let's start off just comparing it to some other zero tolerance knives that are out there. This is one that's also new to 2016. This is the 804 CF. Move this down just a little bit, see if that helps you guys out some. So these knives are very similar in size. The 804 CF, as I said in the prior review or overview, that it's ZT put out no, they didn't hold back anything on this knife. So it's a lot lighter, but carbon fiber and a more premium steel. But both great knives. Thought I'd show you both the carbon fiber side and the titanium side on that one. Let's move on to another model that is new for 2016. This is the 0095 BW or Black Wash. Let's put these flat. I think it'll show better for the rest of them here. So pretty close in length overall. The 95 is definitely a thinner knife, thinner profile, a little lighter. Let's move on to some of the older ZT models. Here we go with the 350. So as you can see, that's a good bit shorter. Both great quality knives made by ZT. Let's go to the ZT0801. It's been a big seller. Something about these knives just has some commonality to me, not just the all titanium, but probably the clip, and both just awesome flippers and cool knives. And let's move on. This is a starter, like what I like to call the starter model for most ZT fans. It's the ZT566. As you can see, definitely smaller, Hinder design compared to the Anzo, but once again, both great knives. Let's get out of the ZT realm. But I like to say, if you're a Hinder fan, you're probably a ZT fan, and if you're a ZT fan, you probably like Hinder knives. So these two are, this is the Hinder XM18 3.5 inch Skinner. So just a little size comparison there. Interesting note, blade's a little longer, but weight on these is about the same. And let's do some of the most popular models out there for all you Spyderco guys. I think the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 is, this one's got a glare on it. That's that shinier but polished blade. Hopefully that'll help you guys out some. And so that's the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And I think probably the most popular, more modern knife of our time, the Benchmade Griptilian. And I'll give you a little idea on that. I think the 220 is just a little bit longer than that. And we always have to throw in one of our, what we like to call our shop favorites here. This is the Southern Grind Bad Monkey. It's definitely a longer knife. And just throwing that in for the size comparison. We've sold a lot of Bad Monkeys. Hope our fans will come back and buy a 220 from us. And speaking of popular Benchmades, let's throw in the Adamas. The Adamas is just a monster knife, but the 220 is not too shy of it. But just like to throw that in for the Benchmade fans out there. And then, of course, the Chris Reeve fans, we're going to throw in the Chris Reeves Benza 25. Similar in overall length, and that's about all we'll say on that. Just both very good quality knives. So that's about it. Just hope some of these size comparisons help for some of you guys that don't have a shop or in your area and can't get your hands on one before you purchase it. So that's the 220 from Zero Tolerance, also known as the ZT0220. And we do have these in stock at usamadeblade.com. We hope you guys will check us out and maybe purchase one of these while you're looking online. And as always, we appreciate you watching.